we're Hannah from Hot Milk and we're from Manchester. I mean, what do we do?
We
Not a typical Manchester band,
no
but we
loud and aggressive and
emotional,
chaotic.
yeah,
Yeah.
just all of the above.
That sounds like everything I've ever heard about every Manchester person ever.
True, it is true. I think we are in essence the same as other bands, but in output, perhaps not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Dressed up a little different.
Just dressed up in different clothes.
I'm glad we got that established straight off the bat. All right, so Hot Milk are currently on tour in Australia with Foo Fighters, I believe one show deep. So how was it?
I mean, great. I mean, we're changing the set because we got angry at ourselves, but yeah, we were. It's like it's one of them. It's like when you're playing with the Foos, you know, you have to just do your best, have fun doing it as well, because you know you got to absorb those moments. You know, it's kind of the stuff dreams are made of, isn't it? Really. So yeah, we had fun. We had fun. That's what's the important thing.
I want to go back into that angry at yourself bit. What do you mean you got angry at yourself?
Just we're perfectionists and we didn't play the best set that we could play.
We felt like it didn't. Right. We didn't feel like it flowed. So we've just taken some songs, putting some songs in, and like that's more because we basically came off the back of a headline tour. We didn't have time to think about what we were going to do for the Foo Fighters. We kind of just did like a stripped back version of that, and then we realized actually we need to do something specific for this crowd and specific for the Foos. So and
we were ill as fuck as well.
Yeah,
we got so ill on the flight over, and it just when we don't play like the show we want to play, we
get angry.
Yeah, we get really pissed off.
And it must be a pretty surreal feeling though, like being so far away from home with one of the biggest bands in the world ever. Like you must just sort of look around and go, "Fuck, man, this is pretty cool."
I think you can feel too much sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes a bit of a whirl.
Yeah, you've just I kind of turned it off a little bit because I feel like if you get so distracted like that, then you know you kind of become a bit overbearing with it all. You know, it can kind of become a bit intimidating. So I feel like I'm actually kind of proud that we've just kind of taken it on its head, I guess.
Stride,
and just gone. It's just it's a rock show, innit? Let's just do what we do.
I think we've always tried to play the same show, no matter like who it's to, where you know where we're playing it, how big the crowd is. It's always like it's a Hot Milk show at the end of the day.
We're here because we're a good band, and then let's show them we are.
That's true. Well, I reckon fuck talking about the Foo Fighters because they don't need any publicity. But you guys actually did your own headline show last night. Was it your first ever headline show in this country at the Gasometer in Melbourne? How was that?
Gaso was great. Yeah, it was sick. And the roof opened. We had an open air gig. It was
sick venue.
Yeah.
The crowd
went off.
It was. I think it was over capacity. To be honest, it was ridiculous. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Felt very full, but we had a great time, and everyone was like just get like gearing for it, weren't they?
Yeah.
Did you know? Did people sort of saying to you that they only came because they saw you with the Foo Fighters? They hadn't heard of you before, or?
No, not many actually. I think we've been cultivating a fan base, across the world for a number of years. You know, the internet does that thing now where you just you can go anywhere. Like we've never been to Tokyo before, and we just sold out a show there. So I feel like we had a lot of people that just found us from different places. You know what I mean? Radio, whatever. And I actually think because we played the Foo show the night before, but the show was already sold out, so I don't think anyone actually came from the Foos.
Yeah.
So maybe next time they will.
So you essentially went from playing an outdoor arena with tens of thousands of people to playing in a more intimate pub gig. So describe the different emotions that sort of come over you going from that to that. Like,
I think it's like they're more nervous. No,
I'm more nervous of the smaller one.
You can see everyone's faces. You know, if they're not feeling it, you're gonna know straight away. Whereas, a stadium, it's just like a massive body.
You just have to do it, and you can't really think about you watching because if they're so far away, just don't really become people, do they? It's just an entity.
No, I don't know. Although playing stadiums is fucking sick as a band. It's something you always dream to do. Like, I actually think I prefer playing the sweaty clubs because there's just some. If you've got like a good crowd and a good band,
I also think it's a headline show. It's different. Yeah, headline shows are just different because they're there for you.
The energy is just like it's incomprehensible. Yeah.
And you've got another headline show tonight in Sydney at Mary's Underground. So you guys nervous? Like now you know the people here are actually getting into you. Like is it nervous? Is it a bit more pressure?
Nah, I feel like there are people, aren't they? Like they're there for us, and I see them, and I understand them, and we have a connection. So when we go out, I feel like
Don't get nervous of headline shows
I'm
anymore.
with my brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? They're my people. So
you don't have to win anyone over on a headline
not
show.
anymore there for us. So I just feel like it's like seeing old friends.
Yeah.
I've got to say, I've only spent about 5 minutes with you guys, and I can already see why this is so universally respected. Like, you've got a good attitude, guys. Really, really good.
Nice of you to say.
So, for those out there unfamiliar with Hot Milk, give us a bit of a history. Tell us a bit about yourselves.
Well, I mean, we obviously met in Manchester. We started writing tunes because we were bored in January on a rainy Friday night over a bottle of wine. And we lived together and we've been through a lot together, haven't we, as friends first and before we were even in Hot Milk. So I think our bond is kind of what kind of is the center of this band. It's you and me that kind of is a glue that keeps it together. And I think we just kind of wanted to run away from life, and Hot Milk became that vessel. And it kind of snowballed, and here we are, and we don't really understand how or why, but we're going with it.
Yeah, we managed to create like a great family with, Tom and Della, our drummer and bassist, the rest of our crew, and our, like, mad to say, worldwide fans. It's fucking sick. Like the more people we meet, the more proud, I guess, we are of like starting the band and pursuing this stupid career that no one ever says that you can do.
Yeah, our mum and our parents weren't exactly happy when we said we quit our jobs to do this, put it that way. So, there's been a lot of people that told us we couldn't and we shouldn't, and a lot of people that would shit all over us when we first started bringing out songs. People, our peers were like, what the fuck are you doing? And, people in the local scene would, take the piss and all that. But, you just got to overcome and move forward. And, I'm proud.
Persevere.
5 years later of where we're at. I'd like a bit more money, but
wouldn't we all? You released your debut album, A Call to the Void, back in August. So how's the reception been to that?
Well, people are telling me it's a success, but I don't know.
Well, you're in Australia, so you're doing something right.
I know. It's weird. It's just so strange that songs we wrote that were personal.
I know. Songs that we wrote in a tiny little shipping container in Manchester, people are shouting back in Australia. It's a bit of a mad concept, but yeah, people said they liked it, and that's all we can ever ask for.
Yeah, let's hope the next one's not a pile of shit.
Actually, just made me think of something. Then, like you mentioned the fact that you've written personal songs, and now the world's getting into them. Like, in a way, does it make them any less personal once they get out there to the world and people start singing them back at you?
No, I don't think so.
I think it does. I'll tell you what it does unexpectedly has been hurting. I think it's the fact that every night there's one particular song that every time I sing it, I have to reopen that wound.
Yeah.
That is it. Some people are like, is it cathartic? And I'm like, actually, at the moment, it's not. It's actually really painful. So it's a very strange one because a lot of them are still kind of ongoing because it's such a recent kind of. It was written quite recently, so no, it's still very personal for sure.
So prior to releasing A Call to the Void, did you release 3 successive EPs? Was that a planned lead into releasing a full album? Did you want to sort of go through the steps?
Yeah, totally. I think, we started Hot Milk and kind of went straight out the gates, and we really didn't want to go straight into that first album not understanding what Hot Milk was and, what it sounded like. So we kind of wanted to make our mistakes, find our strengths, find out what we like to play, find out what how we play it live. We wanted to do all this in EPs rather than being like, here's the flag in the sand, here's our first album,
you only get one.
And look back at it in years and be like, this was shit. Like, I wish we'd I
think because James produced a lot of it as well, he needed to be better as a producer as well. Like you weren't there yet. So I think it's like you're always learning every day.
Sports time. That's what it was, and it allowed us to kind of I guess test the water.
I tell you what, our debut album wouldn't have been a top 40 album if we'd done it 3 years ago. Yeah.
So along those lines, like what sort of things did you learn about yourselves and your music over the course of those 3 EPs that you carried through to the album?
We love guitars. I think that was a big thing. Like some of the earlier songs were more synth driven, and practically it's not, we can't afford to have multiple session musicians and whatever at this rate. So, we all want to just be on stage playing as much of the songs we can, rather than just having shitloads of track and just standing around doing nothing. So I think like that was very clear. We wanted to play more guitar, we wanted it to be
A little bit heavier.
We started off with it being quite, you know, a little bit lighter, a little bit kind of poppier, and I think we've just
I think as
found...
life's gone on, it's going to become a bit of a darker place. So
yeah, and I think that's just what we enjoy live. We like shows that have just got like ball.
like the more energy you get from people, right? That's what you want. So I think that's kind of what we kind of left drift towards, and we will continue to drift. I think we'll always be on the line of acceptability, but heaviness is important too.
Yeah.
So looking forward, what's 2024 and beyond hold for Hot Milk once you finish your little holiday over here?
I mean, honestly, I can't talk about a lot what we've confirmed so far, but a new album and just keep this train going, man, for as long as people give a shit. And you know, I want to write some stuff I'm really proud of. I want to push myself as a musician, and personally, I want to try and find some happiness.
Wow. Well, thanks very much for your time, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure getting to know. To be honest, I wasn't sure how this was going to go, but you guys rock. Like, it's cool.
Thanks,
Cheers.
How can I get these shirts to you? Like, I'm not going to be able to like jump up on stage because people are probably
Speak to the man here. Speak to this guy.
All right, I'll speak to that gentleman, and I'll get in there and I'll bring you some shirt down. He's going to become honorary mullets.
Nice, man.
Nice one, bro.
All right, enjoy your show, Mark. We'll see you in Brizzy next week.
See you
Yeah, take care, bud. Have a good one.
in a bit, mate. We'll be that way.